Chapter 4. Andy's POV. As I closed the door to my room, I just sank down against the door, fighting back my tears. What were those drawings? Was I actually going to kill Claus in the future? Is everyone going to die? I know I shouldn't believe them, but I just can't get them out of my head. I walked over to my bed and sat down. I glanced at a framed picture on my nightstand and grabbed it. It was a picture of me and my friends hanging out back at the farm 5 years ago. Why couldn't we go back to how it was then? No fights, no disagreements, just 5 friends, hanging out and living life to the fullest. But then the picture seemed to change. Everyone looked dead and I had blood on me. I screamed into the photo, shattering the glass. I realized what I just did and started to pick up the glass, cutting my hand. Shit. I quietly cursed to myself. I jumped a bit when I heard Rory knock on my bedroom door. "Andy, is everything all right?" Rory's voice came through the door. "Yeah, you can come in." Rory opened the door and walked over to me. He looked at me and then at the broken picture frame. "What happened?" he asked as he carefully helped me pick up the big shards of glass. I was looking at the photo and it changed to something scary, so I threw it in reaction. He grabbed the photo that had glass on it. He looked at it and then looked at me as if he was judging me. "You sure it changed? It just looks like you and your friends having fun." I looked at the photo and it was back to normal. I was shocked. A second ago it was different, I swear. They were dead and I was covered in blood and... Rory hugged me and tried to get me to calm down. "You need to calm down, Andy. Your mind is making you see things." I remembered that Claus told me this many times when I was younger. Can't remember why though. "How about we go out and get a new frame for that picture? Maybe getting out of the apartment might help you clear your mind." "Yeah, that might help. Thanks." Me and Rory finished cleaning up the glass and bandaged my hand. Then we left the building. We walked around the town as Rory tried to find a store. I just followed him, still thinking about what happened earlier. We walked into a store, got a new frame, and left. We took the long way back to my apartment since Rory thought I could do with some fresh air. "Hey, are you feeling better?" Rory had been watching me as if expecting me to have a panic attack or something. "I'm fine. Just still a bit freaked out about everything." "That's understandable. Those sketches freaked me out too. But I think something else is bothering you." "Well, he's not wrong. Something else has been bothering me, but I don't know what it is." "Yeah, there is something else, but I don't know what." "Well, when you think you know what it is, don't be afraid to tell me." "Thanks, Rory, but I don't know. You've been through so much yourself, I don't want to burden you." Rory stopped and looked at me. Did I say something wrong? Did I upset him? "Andy, you are not a burden to me. If anything, I feel like I've been a burden to you. You helped me, so I want to help you. You will never be a burden to me. You're my friend, and the first person I could trust in years." He paused for a moment. "I just want to help you. I don't like seeing you upset." I don't know what to tell him. I mean, I might know what else is bothering me, but I don't know if I should mention it. If I tell him, then I might have to bring up the barn. "Thank you, Rory, but I think we should head back." He looked uncertain about my quick decision, but agrees. We headed back to the apartment, but that feeling returned. I felt like I was being followed by an invisible thing. But Rory doesn't seem to get that feeling. Maybe I am starting to lose it.
Rory's POV. I don't know what's going on with him, but Andy's been acting strange. I noticed while we headed back to his apartment that he must have felt like he was being followed. He kept looking behind himself and looked more worried as we returned. I wanted to ask him about it, but I'm sure I wouldn't get much of an answer from him. I just tried to keep an eye on him and our surroundings just in case. When we got back to the apartment, Andy just went to his room. I do often wonder if he's all right. I have been noticing his attitude and behavior were different, to say the least. 8:30 p.m. After a few hours, Andy left his room and headed towards the door. "Andy, where are you going?" I asked him. I must have startled him because he jumped a bit when I spoke. Andy kept facing the door. I forgot to grab something at the store. I was gonna go out and get it." His voice sounded unsure. "All right. Want me to go with you?" No thanks, Rory." "All right, Andy, Just be back within an hour, or I'll come to look for you, okay? He was silent for a bit. All right. He just left out of the apartment, but I'm actually worried. He sounded confused and a bit scared. I don't think he's all right at all. He's not his usual self. Hopefully, he doesn't do anything drastic.
Andy's POV. As I walked out of the building, the feeling reappeared. I looked around, but no one was there. I'm losing my mind, I'm sure of it. I took the short way to the store. I actually don't know what I left to get. I think it was to get something to protect myself, something to make me feel safer, like how Rory has his pocket knife. Whatever it was, it might not work, but it's worth a shot, right? Anything to get rid of this feeling. It's probably driving me crazier than I already am. I just got to be back within an hour, or Rory will get worried and come to look for me. I mean, I wouldn't blame him. I would if he was out here at night too. When I entered the store, the feeling wasn't as bad. I wondered a bit and eventually went near the front counter. Hi there. I was scared by the sudden voice. When I looked, the source of the voice was a pink-haired kid behind the counter. She couldn't have been much older than Melody. Oh, geez. You scared me. Oh, sorry, mister. I like to surprise people, not scare them. Are you okay? I think I am. And it's fine. Lise, is someone there? A voice from the back of the store said. Yes, there is Sam. All right. I'll be right there. A man walked to the counter. He looked at me, then looked at the kid. Lise, did you surprise him? Yeah. Well, did you apologize to him? Yes, sir, I did. He turns his focus to me. Sorry about that. She likes to surprise people, but half the time she scares them right out of their skin. It's all right. Okay. Well, you need something? Yes, sir. I was looking for something that could make me feel safer while out on the street. The girl butts in. Oh, like my pocket knife. You have a pocket knife? I asked. She has one because her apartment is basically on the other side of town. The guy explained. He must be a friend of hers. She doesn't go home till around 10 to 11 p.m. and comes here to help me for the day at 5 in the morning. So she has it to protect herself if something happens. Yep, it really helps since I'm not from here. Cool, I guess. About the pocket knife. Oh, the man spoke up. We were told to be careful selling them after that attack a few days ago. He was talking about when Rory almost got kidnapped. Yeah, I heard about it. Yep. This town has been quiet crime-wise for a long time. It's a real shame. Well, what if it was an accident or something? You don't accidentally stab someone 37 times. That's their estimate anyways. Damn. That's a lot, and coming from Rory too. But at least I know why that imbecile has lots of injuries. Oh. You can still get a pocket knife, but you'll have to fill some things out. He walked into a room and returned with some papers. I filled out the papers, and they let me buy one. Here you go. Be careful with it. The girl said, handing me a pocket knife. Thank you. I will, I said as I put the knife in my pocket. Is that all for you tonight? The guy asked me. Yes, sir. Well then, have a good night. The girl said as I started to leave. You too, I told them as I left the store. The second I stepped outside, the feeling returned. I'm being watched. I was a little cold, so I grabbed the gloves I had in my bag and put them on. As I walked back to my apartment, I had to wait for a bus to drive by so I could cross the street. I was about to cross when something caught my attention. It was a familiar voice. I looked to see someone getting off the bus and thanking the driver. I could barely see them, but I could recognize them. It was Klaus. He didn't see me but started walking away. He was most likely going to his home. I started to follow him. I didn't know why I was following him. Something inside me was telling me to follow him. I put my hand in my pocket that had my pocket knife. I don't know why though. As I followed him, an unexplainable anger was growing. I felt angry. Because of him. I felt angry. Seeing him. I was angry. At him. I was very angry at him. I couldn't figure out why. But I felt like I was about to do something very bad. He will soon feel eternal suffering, and I will make sure of it.